boys and girls. My name is Mike Kelly from RealIllusionForum.com and AnimatorSforum.com as well. My friend Gary, my brother from another mother, was having a problem with this particular sequence, or scene, I'm sorry, prop. So I decided to buy it and to see what I could figure out about this. And this is the abandoned gym. What he was concerned about, and I probably didn't make it clear enough in the first video I did, was if you go into the modify panel here. This, first of all, let's go to the scene. This is just the abandoned gym, okay? And so it does have some sub-props here. So these are some things that are sub-props that can be manipulated. And so that's things I wasn't aware of. Now, a sub-prop is simply attached to a main prop and can be unattached, if you will. So if we look at, this is all the floor stuff, and I'm not quite sure exactly what he was trying to do. I thought maybe he was trying to get rid of these boards that are sticking up, but maybe not. I'm not sure. So and I'm getting all kinds of stuff coming in. All right. So in any case, what you could do, that's the floor. So there's a lot of different pieces to this floor. So you can start, eliminating the eyes to here and trying to figure out what all's what here. By the way, I was trying to show him how to use the eyedropper, and a lot of times the eyedropper gets frustrating when you're trying to modify things and trying to select from an eyedropper, because if you try clicking on something and there's something in front of it, like the dirt, then you can't get at the other stuff. So here's like the decals, the dirt decals that are selected from that scene. So because there's all the dirt. So we've turned that dirt off, so the dirt's no longer visible anymore in that scene. But in any case, here's the pieces here. So you could go through and eliminate a lot of these pieces, and they would just disappear from the scene. Clean up some of this debris if you're going to use this for. So the difference is these are actual separate sub-props, separate sub-items. When you get into modify, what these are showing you are the materials that are assigned to all of this. So it's also going to, if you select the upper floor here, the upper one, and then we go to modify, it's gonna have all the materials that are assigned to all those sub-props and the main props. So that's what it's consolidating. And one of his questions was, why is it that when you try to modify the floors here, they all use this parquet gym material? But part of the problem is they're all linked. So you see this linkage here? This means that if you change anything in one, it will change it in all of them. So you can separate that by simply taking them and unlinking them. So you can go in here and go down to, say this here, break the link, and that removes all the links from that. And now, if you change any one thing with this, if you were to change the base color, for example, adjust the color and maybe make it a different color entirely, then that will only change that particular segment. So I'm not sure where, oh, there. So there's that green segment. So whoops. So he was wondering why you couldn't change parts of it. Well, you can. You can go in, but you have to unlink all those. So they're all linked together. So that would be how you would do that. So hopefully that answers some question about that particular part of the process. The other thing I wanted to show him with this particular set, notice how I have the lights coming in here. I put a directional light right outside the, well, directional light's just everywhere, but I put it, if you go outside here, I put the directional light and I aimed it at those windows. So that gives us those nice beams that are coming through. And then we turn up the GI and the bounce, and that's really all the light you really need in this scene. Since it's abandoned, you really don't have any lights. There are some non-working lights up here somewhere that you could also do the same thing with and turn on GI. But anyway, those are the only two things I modified. So hopefully this lends a little more explanation to what's going on with this scene. You have a lot of sub-objects here, and those are sub-objects, but the main object they're all attached to, you could go ahead and when you modify, they show all the different materials there. So you have a lot of different possibilities. You can go in and you can change the materials separately. You can go into the scene and you can hide some of these sub objects and get rid of a lot of stuff here. And hopefully that answers all of his questions about this particular sequence, at least. It's kind of interesting. I'm not crazy about the way it's designed, but I got rid of most of the boards. So you could probably get rid of all those stick-up boards if you keep deleting some of these things out of here. Okay, hopefully that helps him, and we'll see you on the forums.